some Jund aggro here in Alchemy. We have played some Halana and Alena inside of Bard class earlier this week, and they were really impressive as an individual card in that, so I wanted to build a deck that could try and capitalize on this card better. We've got a number of cards in this deck that do that well, most notably giving these two extra attack maximizes their triggered ability because they give a boost equal to their attack. The best curve we can have is Kalain here, which gives a 1/1 counter to things that are cast with treasured mana. So you can Kalain on 2 into Halana and Alena as a 3/4 on 3 to then give this 3 counters an attack right away, which is sweet. Reckless Stormseeker can pump this up. Avabruck Caretaker is absolutely insane because these two can just bounce off of each other. You can put Avabruck Caretaker's counters on this, and then this gives this +4, or however big it is at that point. We've got just some other good cards in the deck, like extra ramp and Innkeeper, some Scions for card advantage, some Cutthroats for card advantage, Town-razer for just beating people down and turning off creature lands, then some spot removal at the bottom end of the curve. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it goes. We should put a highlight of the diaper story. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, the base of this deck is just a bunch of good cards that should also be good together, I'm hoping. The mono black deck is very good. I think early contender for best deck in the format is the mono black deck. My opponent just flipped the Delver on turn 2 and I thought that was illegal. Diaper Blowout is my U2 Kids cover band. God bless. Yeah, the mono black sack / control deck, it's playing the Generate a Blood Artist card. Oh gosh, I wonder if we disconnected from the matchmaking server in the 10 minutes I was away. Sometimes the alchemy queue's just been slow though too, like we've waited 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Hey, awesome, Jessica. Congrats on getting platinum. I am a little surprised that Town-razer Tyrant is able to target basic lands. In Standard, people almost always have it on basic in play, but it feels like a weird design that's able to punish those. Haley was just trying to recreate WotC PR, people. Thanks for the 36 months, Flash. I appreciate the 3 years. It's quite a while. Welcome back. Ooh, that's true. It can target basic lands for now. That could change. Big true. Big true. Whelp into Town-razer is really good. Whelp feels like a real Magic card. I have a build around submission from one of our recent Shillionaires for Dragons and Historic with Whelp, which we're going to try. If you have Barrier Catalyst, I will take them, Rook Jackson. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, you know what? Okay, I messed up. So I need this to be green, but then I can't play this on 2. It's a mistake. Hey, Snapkeep, welcome back. Hope life's treating you well. When are we gonna do Blue-White Batman? I think probably tomorrow. I want to take time to build that one off stream. I want to shift through all the new cards. And I want to make sure we have enough time to give it a good long session if it's good. Because we have kind of a hard cut in an hour today for the Helios finale. They need to cast a spell this turn. Can you post a link to that, Tumo, so I can have a starting point? When does Rune King start? So because I had to start late today because of family stuff, we're going to be starting Rune King tomorrow afternoon. Looks like you are sub, Dad Nauseum. Thanks for the support. Alright, so now the caretakers are just going to take care of each other. Wow, rude. Go. Actual exactly 0. We actually trim some Florians because the card advantage isn't super relevant. We just need to kill them faster. We'll board in some discard as disruption. Try and beep. Abrade to hit key. Now I think that's too reactive. I think I want to be proactive with my disruption. Maybe if it did something better when they didn't have key, it could be worthwhile. But they're not going to have key every game. I completely agree, Lampton. I was surprised that both Divide by Zero and Expressive Iteration were left as is. Our curve here is really good. I get to go 1, 2, 3. It's just curve-amentary. What could it be? Huh? I'll take the burden out of the house, I think. So that's 26 months, Red Ranger. Welcome back. Good morning. Hey, time to raise some health, Chip. I agree that there's a good chance this card's a little overtuned. Would not be surprised to see Town-razer get adjusted. Charge counter on it. Remove charge counter. It does that much damage to target creature. Cute. Alright, they should be dead here. Happy that we boarded, run it back. That was a card they got off of my break expectations, I believe. The sand desperately needs a land, but it's pretty good if it gets it. We tried that in Historic and it was very bad, Cody. We were on the draw this game, so this can be untapped. I'll hold on to my treasure for now for these caretakers. Well, it's nighttime. This card getting the draw to while your opponent is missing land drops just feels so god-awful. This interaction's... This, honestly, might be the card... Like, talking about Divide by Zero, if they wanted to make this card worse, this is the card I think that probably needs to change. It takes games like this one, right? Where, like, your opponent's getting unlucky and it just buries them. I will take your Barrier Catalyst and Helios if you still have an aim. Well, using something like Mind Rot in this current state really doesn't accomplish anything, so I'm not pressuring them. Yeah, like, it's just like, cast a draw 3 here. Just not even remotely reasonable. I'm gonna attempt to play Florian here, because if this happens and I connect, I get to have a shot to draw land. Magic. This game is pretty close up until they take a bunch of turns in a row. It's on green currently, right? It's just an E2 land. Let's cast these. One counter spell, please. Sure. Shame I don't have any lands here. I don't have any mana left to cast a spell. I guess this getting counter spells isn't particularly useful, right? Yeah, like, our opponent could very easily just, like, Epiphany plus Foretell an Epiphany this turn, and then we end up dying to that. Especially if they have a copy spell. Desert Doom's actually not bad for us. Huh. Let's do this and then smash them. I already played a land for the turn, right? Grab Town-razer because it can block. Maybe I'm supposed to Kalain first into the treasure, so that way this could be a 5/5 to threaten to block this. It's probably not unreasonable. Kill it in response anyways. They don't have a way to take Town-razer out of the way. We get to jump block the Desert Doom this turn at least, which is nice. The question will be like, how many extra turn spells do they have? Because if they have extra turn spells, it doesn't really matter that they don't make birds at this point, because this will draw them enough gas afterwards. They're on empty, but they have Desert Doom, chat. This literally gets to attack me and draw 3 cards here. Or minimum 2 cards. Yeah, like, we're still incredibly buried. I'm a JoJo. Thanks for the 33 months. Welcome back. Why are you hesitant to buy alchemy packs from a long-term perspective? Can you explain? If anything, your odds of getting a constructed playable rare/mythic are much better in an alchemy pack than a normal pack, right? Yes, you might even get a rebalance card that's really good in normal standard too. If you're into that sort of thing. They've stated at this time they currently have no plans to rebalance with a focus on historic chubs. They're just starting with Alchemy. There are so many dirt rares along with the good ones. I think if you actually stop and do the math, you'll see that there's a higher ratio of good. You'll see that there's a higher ratio of good cards inside of Alchemy packs than normal packs. So I guess I don't understand where your goalpost is, Hydra, because I feel like you moved the goalpost on me. You asked, the way you phrased your initial question, you implied that you normally buy booster packs of regular sets. So are the goalposts you're going with now, you don't ever normally buy booster packs and you're considering buying booster packs of Alchemy stuff? Is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, that's important context to include with the original statement that you provided. I kill this first. I'm gonna get one less blood off of this. Our deck's playing 26 lands, right? We're on 22 plus 4. Yeah, we're on 22 lands plus 4 Spikefields. It's actually the unluckiest. I mean, to be fair, you get commons and uncommons from Vow in those packs. Just random chance is a core aspect of Magic's entire business model. As someone who basically never drafted Alchemy is better than buying and opening normal packs. So as someone like me who has the perspective of, oh, I'd be buying and opening normal packs here, it's much better. We're just dead in the air. Yeah, it looks that way. Weird. Turns out it's difficult to race when you can't block and you also can't cast your spells. Funny how that works. Anything to learn from that game. We'll like bring in a couple pieces of spot removal and cut this more expensive top end. Hope to have lands to cast our spells this time around. Yeah, this is good. Stop me if you've heard this one before, but this one just needs to draw a third land chip. My body is ready to draw one of our tap lands, for sure. Okay, sometimes lucky. He does have reach. Or they do have reach. They do have reach. They does has reach. The finale of Helios is in 45 minutes. If you've got barrier catalysts, I'll take them.
I bring all broken world. I bring my own army.
No, I'll be restreaming the finale here on the channel. Don't ask me what exactly that entails, because I'm just as in the dark as you are, so we'll get to see and experience together. We're in an okay spot until a Meathook Massacre rolls off here.
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
This mono black deck's definitely the real deal, chip. I'm gonna send this at Sorin. So this way, if they want to kill this instead of combat, they have to either grasp this or whatnot. Okay, so Florian will get to draw a card here at least. You got that going for us. My body is ready to get cat oven, chat. Are you ready? Are you ready to get cat oven from these Cursebound Witch drafts? Hey, well, thanks for keeping me around, Rocket Banana. Wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you. Perfect. To finish this off nicely. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to kill the Bloodcaster, actually. That's close. This one lifelinks that I'm killing. Maybe Bloodcaster's the kill. They're up to 3 blood here. Hopefully they're gonna spend some of these blood rummaging through the cards they drafted just now.
You deal with this annoyance.
We just send these here looking for a card draw on our deck. Supposed to like plant a second Florian to gain a life here, maybe? If they can make 2 blood tokens, I die without gaining a life, so maybe I'm supposed to do that.
You wish to know my secrets? Very well.
Very well. You can find other people doing the Helios thing at twitch.tv/Twitch Gaming. There's a directory of them there. I mean, I don't know that like, the black decks are obviously good, but I don't know that particular game we just watched is indicative of the black deck so much as just like, our deck was non-functional. Play a game there. Yeah, so far, like, you know, we've been playing this deck for 35 minutes and, like, haven't played like an actual game of Magic in that time. Hey, Sierra Poo, thanks for upping for the 2nd month. Welcome back. And Zero, thanks for the 33 months. Good afternoon. Nice! Congrats on crushing Mythic, by the way, Sierra Poo. I'm confused. Are you asking me if you should sideboard 2 copies of a land to board in when you're on the draw? Because that seems really strange to me. I'm not sure why you would want to do that. You should just play your lands in your main deck. Yes, we're currently playing Alchemy. Oh, you know what? I should have played this on black, so that way next turn I had a chance for Florian to draw us a land. Because now I have to go this and then cast Florian. I guess I could draw technically exactly like a Spikefield Hazard, but there's a good chance this doesn't get to draw a card this turn because of my sequencing. Mistake. If we draw our Caretaker and our 1 land short, it's on us. On me. Assume Florian is dying here. They didn't make any plays last turn. The Blood Artist enchantment is very good. There's a mono black deck in the format that's really powerful that's leveraging it. Yeah, it's arguably in what's the best deck in the format at the moment. Peabody, thanks for the 15 months. Good afternoon, welcome back. And for what it's worth, I don't know that the Blood Artist enchantment is what made the black deck the best deck so much as Epiphany just not being there to hold them back. This is standard. This is Alchemy. I am an alchemist. Raising towns. Raising towns and drawing lands, chat. Bottom left-hand corner of your Twitch player window on desktop will have controls for Helios. If you want to help us stockpile barrier catalysts. See, chat, matches like this are why the daily deck digest is aces. Because you won't ever sit through 40 minutes of Magic on the deck digest. That's just someone getting mana screwed or flooding. Those games get to stay on the cutting room floor. Look, and if watching me get screwed or flooded is your kink, that's why the main YouTube channel still exists. So you can hang out there and witness Magic in its all-natural glory state. Even our spells are land. I'm just gonna click submit here. I don't really know what their deck is doing. We mostly just didn't play that game. Main channel watch numbers are about the same, even with the deck digest. I plan to continue putting effort into that second channel for, I don't know, a year or so probably, to see if it will eventually pay dividends. It's growing at an okay rate. The daily videos up there get like 500 to 1,000 views depending on what they are, and the channel as a whole is up to almost 3,000 subs. Not that sub count really matters, the watch time is what matters. Ask what next is, maybe. I might not have meant to sacrifice that. It's probably fine though. Yeah, for the most part, it doesn't surprise me that a lot of my regular YouTube audience hasn't moved over to the deck digest, because, like, the types of people that were more likely to watch my long form stuff were less likely to watch shorter edited stuff because they wanted long form. I'm one of the few people that does long form stuff on YouTube like that. Most YouTube Magic content is similar to what my deck digest is. So, the thing you have to understand about how content works, chat, is it's all bullshit. All of the things that people tell you, these things are good for growing your content. Basically, it's all a bunch of people that have survivorship bias. For every person that sees a bunch of growth because they did YouTube shorts, there's, you know, thousands of others that didn't. For every person that, like, spends a bunch of time and money making their thumbnails great that sees growth, there's 1,000 others that don't. The way I view YouTube content is basically like every single day that I post a YouTube video on those daily channels, it's me pulling the lever on a slot machine. It's going, today could be the day that the YouTube algorithm decides it likes this video and promotes it to extra new people. And most days, it won't do that. But, you know, maybe it will at some point. Yeah, I'm basically just like spending a little bit of time to put in lottery tickets. Another good metric is like, you know, I send out those sub-surveys every month or every other month. And like 60 to 70% of people that respond to the sub-surveys have said the shorter edited YouTube content adds value to their subscription. Which, you know, unless my YouTube stuff explodes and hits CGB size, the Twitch subs are the majority of my revenue. Like, you know, 60 to 70% of the money I make in a year is from Twitch subs. So adding value to people that want to kick me $5 a month or Prime every month is worthwhile. Like Dubell, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. Need double green more than double black, so I'll play that out there. It never fails to impress me how I explain the industry that's literally my livelihood, chat. And chat, I'm not an idiot. I have a master's degree in mathematics. I have a business background. I've spent a lot of time studying data and analytics and watching lots of videos about how this industry works. And basically, every success story on YouTube goes the same way. There's two ways success stories in content go. The first is the algorithm randomly picked you up and you were fortunate and your stuff blew up. People like CGB are actually a good example of this. CGB or Tolarian or other people, they were just making content the same way they'd been making content for years, but suddenly the algorithm picked them up and they started getting a ton more views. And that's not to say that CGB doesn't make good stuff. His content is excellent. It's just to say that being good at what you do isn't good enough to be successful, like is the case with most things in life. And then the other way, like to the person that I just timed out for telling me I didn't understand that you can game the system referencing the Ludwig situation. The Ludwig situation is one of the other ways that you can make something successful, which is doing random partnered stuff with other people or some other larger creator deciding that they like your stuff is a good way to become somewhat successful. In fact, knowing how difficult and how much variance there is in this industry, that's one of the reasons why I personally try to go out of my way to host random smaller channels when I finish streaming here every day. Because a lot of the types of people that I'm trying to host are people that are potentially making great stuff that just like won't get eyes on them without someone dropping them something. Noah Nichols, thanks for the prime. This is my full-time gig and I wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you. So thanks for keeping me around. Appreciate the Bezo bucks. What about paid advertising? Yeah, you can generate eyes inorganically with enough money. But the amount of money you have to have to like have that be a way that you can gain notoriety, you probably didn't need it to begin with, right? Yeah, and most successful people like Ludwig, I actually didn't know Ludwig was a voice from the Smash community. But a lot of people come with things from outside sources, right? Like even take my own notoriety here. Like I would not be successful on Twitch if it wasn't for the fact that people knew me from playing in SCG tour tournaments from back in the day. A large part of my finding success here on Twitch was people knew me as the guy that top 8'd SCG tournaments with crappy Magic decks. They're like, oh, I want to watch the crappy Magic deck guy play Magic. Solid attack here. Deck's getting to pop a little bit. That's something that triple double quad. That's not something that's unique to this industry, but it's something a lot of people really struggle with admitting. Is like, I can accept that I got lucky to be successful like I am today, but the fact that it took me being lucky to be successful doesn't invalidate the fact that I also worked hard. Like, luck doesn't mean the absence of hard work. It's just the acknowledgement that there's factors outside of your control that go into these things. So I think for a control matchup, we cut the spot removal, and I'm going to trim a couple of these accelerants, and I'm going to bring in 5 discard spells here. Yeah, Dead like, well, so something I've mentioned too, Dead Nauseum, is like, whenever I mention like sub counts or follower counts, you're right that who you're subscribed to on YouTube doesn't matter. Who's actually watching your stuff and how many views it gets is what matters. Yeah, that too. I've talked about that before. My initial channel is starting to move towards me doing full-time content at the end of 2017, early 2018. Paul Scion stopped streaming Modern and other formats, but largely Modern and Constructed on Twitch to go work for Wizards of the Coast, which left kind of a hole for people looking for Magic Online content that I kind of stepped into and started doing more. I picked up a lot of his viewers that were looking for a home when he stopped streaming. I will take all the barrier catalysts I can get for Helios. The finale for that is in 20 minutes. Correct, Dylan. Oh. How do I accidentally gave the mod to the wrong person. Thanks, sir. Welcome to chat, Noah. I think double Town-razer against control stones. His hand's a little slow, but I think I'm gonna keep it. Thanks for the prime, Skunk Judge. Welcome, welcome. I assume there's, like, about to be an endless spree of counterspells here, but, like, we've got a bunch of must-answer threats, right? So eventually one of these noodles will stick when we throw it at the wall. I did save Bezos bucks. Listen, chat, if you have Prime, even if you don't use it here, just make sure you use it somewhere every month. We're building a pretend rocket in Helios, but Mr. Bezos doesn't need any more money to build real rockets. Target their blue land here. That's commie talk. Listen, we're not like, I wouldn't describe myself as a full-blown communist, but we're closer to that than the alt-right. Oh, we're gonna unsummon my Town-razer. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him here. Our rocket will look more family-friendly, too. I go Kalain into Town-razer. I'm gonna start targeting their white sources here. And remember, they don't know about these other Trogdors that we have. This one's burninating the countryside, but there shall be more. Yeah, it's dealer's choice, Sulfuric Vortex or Stone Rain. It's wonderful is what it is. I think we just want to get more Trogdors down here. I could go Innkeeper into the partners and attack, but I think just continuing to pressure their mana is ideal. You could mouse over them, and you can see the added blue text. Our spark, it's gone, chat. Well, I do have keys to the archive, chat. Do I play the third one? I kind of want to get Halana going here. Thanks for the follow, Thunderflux. Good afternoon. Tyrant is very, very good. This is probably one of, if not the best alchemy card for alchemy. It's a little bit, I think Inquisitor Captain is probably the indisputed best, but this is definitely up there. I have 6 drops in my deck, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this out. Okay, friendo. The 2-mana Angel is super playable. Okay, so as part of the Helios thing is a sponsored segment, and I have my contract means I need to be co-streaming them in 15 minutes when they flip over. So I'm gonna queue up best of 1 rather than best of 3 here. We're gonna keep playing this this Jund deck a little bit more. We're gonna get a couple of best of 1s if we can in the next 15 minutes. I don't want to commit to a best of 3 and be stuck for longer than that. If we could win a die roll, we'd feel better, but it seems pretty good, so we'll keep. Plenty of colors of mana, 2-drop into good 4-drops. Maybe this scry on 1 can help us find a, I think we want to name red or black with this, so if we draw Kalain, we can play it on 2. We'll choose a scry here, obviously, because we don't have a 1-drop. And a 3-drop is great, so we'll go 2, 3, 4, right on out the curve. Yeah, I agree, Mamad. This is the individual design that I am most excited about in the set. So I believe the finale is in an hour and 15 minutes, but there's supposed to be an hour-long thing that we're co-streaming, starting shortly. Oh my gosh, chat. They don't have any plays. Here's my 4/2 trampling double striker. 2 cards, please. 2 cards, please. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I agree, Grimhorn. Almost all of the recent land designs have been aces. They gotta have a piece interaction this turn, right? So they'll target this, and this will target them. Crunch. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have trample this time through. I didn't want to go all in on this because they could have had interaction here. Just to discover the formula, sure. Like get Doomscarred and die. Maybe we should have gone all in. Well, they haven't snapped off the sweeper. Oh, it doesn't impact this one. That's so good for us. Let's open on Innkeeper, so this way the partners are likely to have something to pump up. So we'll go this into a 4-drop. So that way if they interact with our 4-drop, we can also still have this. I think we just Trogdor them here. Okay, and then they're dead, right? Good stuff. We haven't Wargy, but we had a donation for it, so we're probably going to be playing it tomorrow or Wednesday. Probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Well, my life's like a diamond, Dwight. Bum bum ba da dum bum. Bum bum ba da dum bum. I think we're gonna end up shy of 300 barrier catalysts. We're currently at 262. Hey, we're on the draw again, but that means our Forsaken Crossroads is untapped, so we'll keep it. Anybody playing Helios, there's still a chance to push us to 300 if you've got any barrier catalysts you've been holding out on. There is an extra prize for getting to 300, but I just want them to know how many we could acquire. Honestly, knowing how many the channel acquire is probably good metrics for them on the testing, if they're gonna do more things like this. I think I want to lead, I think we want to go Painter into Partners, and then we'll get this down after the fact. Like making another Voice of the Blessed. Man, them not interacting with our partners here is huge. Yeah, no blocks. Okay, so we go Stormseeker, pump this, pump this, smash for infinite. This out on greens. We do have some double green top end. Yeah, this land could be untapped, so we can go Stormseeker this next turn. So this will target you, and you will target you. Get our friends working together, chat. Through the power of friendship. Yeah, maybe I am supposed to play Innkeeper first. I'm not really gonna have another good spot to do it. It could be. I think you're right. I think you're right, Lolly. I should have been keepered first. All right, and then Razor Boy is lethal next turn. We had some pretty unfortunate variants to start this set in our best of 3 matches. Sick Big Daddy, thanks for the follow. Yeah, like the core idea of what this deck is doing from a theory perspective, I think is very reasonable. It's cohesive at the very least. Like, we're playing a lot of good cards that are good together. And that's the key to building reasonable synergy decks in Magic, is like, you want your cards that have synergy with each other to also just be good individually. We're on the play. What is this wizardry? Our opponent is at 61%. Should have known better that we were going to actually play a game on the play. All right. With like 5 minutes until this thing starts, I think I'm going to err on the side of not starting another game. As far as wrap-up goes, this was pretty cohesive. I think there's probably a good chance that the Avabruck Caretakers at the top end of our curve were a little bit too ambitious, and maybe this should just be like another good 3 or 4. Like, for example, you could play like Predator Dragon, or you could play, we drew it a few times, but it's just really expensive. Like Predator Dragon or the 5/6 Vampire that flies for 4 could be good. The 5 mana red. Well, I think 5's still a lot as well. It is the reason why I played this initially is that I wanted another werewolf at the top end so we could trigger Radha more consistently if they killed her after the fact. So, Rahilda. So the 5-mana wolf might be worth testing. Or yeah, maybe just playing Tovalor, because Tovalor does draw cards on his own. It's kind of Florian-esque, and drawing multiples of this was kind of clunky. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Maybe we cut these and you just like play this instead. I don't hate that. Yeah, I could see the 4-mana or the 5-mana haste menace wolf also being fine. But something like this, it makes the curve look a little bit nicer too. It'll make when we get unlucky on land drops feel a little bit less bad. Snakeskin Veil could be okay out of the sideboard too. I could see that. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I went in on discard spells for the control matchup, but Snakeskin definitely a good powerful tempo play that also happens to work well with the partners for sure. So I could see that being a reasonable choice. Maybe we don't need as much removal as in here too if you sit down and go through the creature matchups. All right, I'm gonna run a quick ad roll so anybody coming in during the Helios thing is